USC gets a big win over Iowa. The game of the NFL between the Rams and the Seahawks. It could decide who finishes with the top seed in the NFC. I've got my 5 keys to a Rams win over the Seahawks. Also, the Rams make a roster move late, and 2 key Rams are questionable. And the Lakers were already fed up with Anthony Davis. We'll get into that. And the Banana Man, Kike Hernandez, has surgery, and someone uncomfortably comes up to him at the airport. That's coming up next on the LA Sports Report. LA is the sports capital of the world. The Lakers have entered their Luka Doncic era. LeBron doesn't just want a farewell tour, he wants a farewell title. The Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. Go, Kings, go! The Dodgers are the best run franchise in all of professional sports. Shohei Ohtani is the GOAT. Steve Ballmer will do anything to get the Clippers a championship. Mick Cronin has to win a national championship at UCLA. Justin Herbert is a top 5 quarterback in this league. College football is just better when USC is good. This whole city has the Mamba mentality. I love LA.
Live from the heart of Los Angeles, this is the LA Sports Report with your host, Doug McKain.
What is up, and welcome to the LA Sports Report. Laser, my name is Doug McKain. I covered LA sports for over a decade, 24/7 sports, Bleacher Report, SI, Dodgers Nation. I do NFL Radio for Westwood One, and today we're continuing at a Saturday episode of the LA Sports Report. And if you're new to the channel, just got past 3,000 subscribers, we're going to pick a winner for our Clayton Kershaw 3,000 strikeout bobblehead. So if you commented laser down below, you made yourself eligible. You can still make yourself eligible by commenting laser down below. And hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. This is all LA sports, all day, every day, 24/7, 365. So do me a huge favor for all my Dodgers Nation family. You're going to see lots of Dodgers content over here as well as the same content over there. So don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button. They are very different channels, so be sure to subscribe. But we've got lots to get into. Lots to get into here on the LA Sports Report, a special Saturday episode. And we are just minutes after USC gets a big win at home against Iowa. Got to give the Trojans credit. Yes, I'm a true Bruin, but you got to give those Trojans credit going out there. A big win at home, a rainy Coliseum. USC trailed 21-7 in the second quarter, 21-10 at halftime. They outscored the Hawkeyes 16-0 in the second half to win, pitching a shutout in the second half. It was just a great performance from that USC defense. Jaden Mayava went 23 of 32, 250 yards, a touchdown, no turnovers. Makai Lemon, 10 catches, 153 yards, a touchdown. Also recovered a very crucial fumble to keep that drive alive. Jackson, he ran in 2 scores. Gronowski, 12 of 19 for 132 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Also ran for a touchdown and caught a touchdown on that trick play. USC improves to 8-2, 6-1 in the Big Ten, and they stay alive for the CFP. So big win for the Trojans. Everyone's, USC can't play in the rain. West Coast, Big Ten football, Iowa coming in there, inclement weather. Are the fans going to show up? Hey, USC fans were in the Collie, and USC gets the win. So big credit for the Trojans, keeping their college football playoff hopes alive, setting up that big showdown with Oregon. So we're going to have some USC interviews next week, and we're going to continue to break that down. But we're going to start today with the Rams. Classic. Okay, so an injury update heading into the Rams-Seahawks showdown. You got 2 starters that are questionable for this Week 11 big matchup against the Seahawks. Sean McVay did say yesterday the Rams are listing Devontae Adams and Kobe Turner as questionable for Sunday's game. Now, fortunately, McVay does expect both of them to play. That's very encouraging. Adams is managing an oblique injury that he suffered last week against the 49ers. Kobe Turner is dealing with back soreness. McVay has said all week that Adams is going to play, but Friday's update on Turner is new, and that's certainly positive as well. So for the Seahawks, they got starting center Jalen Sundell and wide receiver Torrey Horton. Both have been ruled out, but it's not that Davante Adams is going to play because clearly he's going to give it a go. It's how he's going to perform. I saw a funny tweet. Hey, all the guys we grew up loving are unks now after they showed the play where Davante Adams is getting in and out of his break and he kind of grabs his back. And that's certainly a play where you don't get injured when you're in your 20s. So thankfully, I'm very confident that Davante Adams is going to play. Everything I've heard from my sources within the Rams tell me he is going to play. And the Rams also have made a roster move heading into the matchup, and that is one that we've talked about. That is that Harrison Mevis, the kicker, the thicker kicker, as he's affectionately nicknamed, has been elevated from the practice squad. So not a shocking move at all. Sean McVay has indicated that Mevis would be the team's kicker this week after he replaced Joshua Carter heading into the 49ers game. Did make all 6 of his extra points. I think one of the big keys, one of the big X factors in this one is how will he perform if he gets opportunities to kick. And you have to believe that he certainly will. You have to believe that he's going to be tested in this one, and it's not going to be a game where the Rams just scored touchdown after touchdown. As you see down below, one of the things I'm looking most forward to in this one is seeing these crispy rivalry edition alternate jerseys, these uniforms that the Rams are going to be wearing. It looks black, but it's really a really, really dark navy, a midnight navy. They look black to the naked eye, the helmets too. These are clean. What I love most about these is the horns on the shoulder have been fixed, where it looks like a smaller version of the horn wrapping around, curled around, not like the current versions that have the horns going in both directions. So looking forward to that. Also looking forward to seeing how Cooper Kupp fares against this Rams team. That's definitely a juicy subplot. And his protege, the Rams elite receiver Cooper Kupp, had really passed that torch to Puka Nacua. And Puka Nacua talked about the jersey swap that we're going to see, talked about what that is going to look like, and the fact that, hey, he is not going to let up with that jersey situation.
A foreign feeling for sure. But I think I'm excited to see him. We've exchanged some texts, and this is one that you have some games that you remember the dates, and so this has been one that I'm excited for. It's the next one for us, so it's a big one, and it's the one we're preparing for. But I'll be excited to see number 10 for sure.
So hey, he said, hey, no one better try to get that jersey. And he'll send someone over to the Seahawks locker room and get that jersey. And Cooper Kupp's kind of downplayed the whole video montage thing he's going to get from the Rams, saying, hey, I didn't die. And I like the fact that this is not his subplot, okay? If these were two bad teams, this would be the story of this game. But the story of this game is these are the two best teams in the NFC, at least in the conversation. You look at DVOA, they're 1-2. You look at PFF grades, they're 1-2. You look at the fact that these teams have not trailed for a long time. The Rams haven't trailed since the Ravens game. The Seahawks haven't trailed since their matchup with the Jaguars. So this is going to go a long way in determining who will finish with one of those top teams in the NFC. And I'm going to give you my 6 matchups that will decide who wins this one. 6 matchups. First one, quarterback Emmanuel Forbes Jr. versus wide receiver Jackson Smith and Jigba. Now, Jackson Smith and Jigba, he does most of his damage now on the outside with Cooper Kupp coming onto that team, playing a lot in the slot. And with Cooper Kupp healthy again, they're going to feature him on the outside like they have been for most of the season. That means that Forbes and another Rams cornerback, Kobe Durant, they're going to have their hands full dealing with the league's top receiver. He leads the league in receiving yards. He's been absolutely electric and extremely productive all year. But the good thing is it's mostly going to be in zone coverage. And I think for Emmanuel Forbes, there's a great opportunity for him because in the last couple of weeks, he's played some of his best football. He got an interception in his last 2 games. He really had the interception that sealed any type of comeback attempt from the 49ers last week. He's got speed. He's got length, but he's going to have to match Jackson Smith and Jigba's JSN's quickness to try to mirror those routes, to try to stick with them and not try to get burned deep. One key stat is that Sam Darnold is completing just over 70% of his passes that are for more than 10 yards. That is ridiculous efficiency on deeper throws. You see a league average around 40%, things like that. So that's going to be something to look at. Does Sam Darnold have a big day in the air to Jackson Smith and Jigba, and how does the Rams try to bottle him up? Because you don't stop him, you just try to limit the damage. And I think the number one key there, if you're the Rams, is try to get the ball out of Sam Darnold's hands. Try to use that pressure that you can bring to try to have him see ghosts. I think it'd be cool if all the Rams fans showed up in ghost costumes, wearing big sheets, right? And wearing those, come dressed as Casper, right? And that way you can make Sam Darnold see ghosts again like he was when he was with the New York Jets. Okay, well, good. The good thing, too, is, hey, you got your Rolls Royce, we got our Bentley. The Rams have wide receiver Puka Nacua that can do a lot of damage himself as a wideout. Another key matchup is going to be Puka Nacua versus Nick Imanwari. And Imanwari is skilled for sure. He's been impressive as a rookie. He's done a lot for their secondary. He's done a little bit of everything, really. He's covered the slot more than anyone else on Seattle's defense, with Devin Witherspoon also lining up in that role as well. This is a good matchup for Puka Nacua on the inside. And Imanwari is technically a safety, but the way that he's built, his versatility, he can essentially cover any position. So that's going to be a big matchup for the Rams to look to exploit. And you got Puka's route running is something that's going to be a handful for him to deal with, because since Devontae Adams has joined the Rams, I even think that Nakua's route running has been taken to another level as well. So I'm looking for big plays for Puka in this one. And when Devontae Adams lines up inside as well, I'm looking for big plays from him. Another one, and this is one of the biggest matchups, one of the monster matchups in this one, right guard Kevin Dotson for the Rams against defensive tackle Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams. What score did Leonard Williams go to? That's right. The Trojan, Leonard Williams. Trojans got a big win today. Well, Kevin Dotson, we need to stop him. And Leonard Williams, he leads the Seahawks with 35 total pressures, and his run defense grade is at a 75.3. He's just a great all-around elite lineman. He can absolutely disrupt any offense's game plan. He's gotten really hot, too, in the last handful of weeks, 22 pressures in his last 4 games. He's been on a heater right now. So it's going to be a battle in the trenches with Dotson, K-Dot going up against Leonard Williams. And whether the Rams are running the football, trying to open up some running lanes, or throwing it, Kevin Dotson's going to have a major, major important role in whether or not the Rams win or lose this game. Another one, I'm looking for a big day from edge rusher, outside linebacker, Jared Verse. And Jared Verse, we know what he's capable of. This is an all-pro level player. This is a defensive player of the year level talent, and he's going up against left tackle Charles Cross. Now, Cross, he has an 82.8 pass blocking grade that leads the Seahawks. He's been very solid this season up in Seattle. He's given up just 14 total pressures in 9 games, with only one of those being a sack and 3 quarterback hits allowed. And Verse didn't do much against the 49ers in the box score, right? He was always someone that they had to account for, which is the mark of a great player. But I think that was really just because of how quickly Mac Jones got the ball out and how quickly they were trying to beat this Rams defense by dinking and dunking and going those intermediate underneath routes. So if Darnold if he holds on to the ball like he did when we saw him when he was on the Vikings last year in the playoffs, well, this could be a big game for Jared Verse. And that's right at the top for most impactful games in this one. Jared Verse going up against Charles Cross. I want to see Jared Verse get nasty in this one. I want a nasty game from Jared Verse. Then there's Nate Landman, the breakout star for the Rams, linebacker, going up against the Seattle running backs. Because Seattle, they're trying to run the football. They have the second most rush attempts in the NFL, but they average the fourth lowest yards per carry at 3.8 yards per carry. And even if they're not having success with it, they're still going to try to establish the run, and they're going to commit to the run. And for them, one of the reasons why they've gotten away with this is just because they've led by large margins in games. And that allows them to say, hey, we can run out the clock. We can stick with this run game. You've got two really good running backs. You got UCLA's own Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker, the third. They can run inside the tackles. They can break off some long runs. And Nate Landman and Omar Speights, they have to be ready to know that even if they're having success early in a game, that they're going to continue to commit to the run game. So they're going to have to make sure they're tackling and staying in their gaps, staying with the gap discipline, not allowing them to run through arm tackles, going sideline to sideline. It's going to be a major factor in this one. And then how about the Rams tight ends? I love this matchup. The big development in the Rams offense is that 12 personnel, is that 13 personnel, where you got 2 and 3 tight ends on the field, and you're going up against old friend linebacker Ernest Jones, who's now on the Seahawks, and the Rams are going to use a good amount of 13 personnel packages. And what that's going to do is that is trying to get Seattle in their base defense. And from Sean McVay, in that look, you could go with the run play. You can go with the pass play. So they're trying to get Seattle in certain looks so they can have an advantage by having basically the lead in, okay, if we want to see if you're going to try to double Devontae Adams, we'll run it. If you're going to have to feature some extra attention on one of these guys, we're going to try to mix in some of our tight ends, whether it be blocking schemes, whether that's finding them in the air. We know they're not afraid to do it. And with the tight ends becoming more prominent in Sean McVay's offense, it's going to be Ernest Jones who's going to have to guard them over the middle. And you got Tyler Higbee, Colby Parkinson, Davis Allen, Terrence Ferguson, the slot down the seam. So Jones has never been someone who's been really good as a coverage linebacker, and that could be a mismatch. That could be an absolute mismatch nightmare for the Rams. That is something to exploit. And really, kind of, you look at other keys in this one. I'm going to give you my top 5 keys. My top 5 keys for a Rams dub. On Sunday. First key, make Sam Darnold uncomfortable. We talked about it a little bit. Sam Darnold has been one of the least pressured quarterbacks in the NFL this year, but when he's been put under pressure, he's averaged a negative 0.45 EPA per dropback. That ranks 22nd in the NFL. That's worse than guys like Tua Tagovailoa and Michael Penix. Darnold has been pressured at the 4th lowest rate. So can you get pressure on him? If you can, that changes everything. And Darnold has been pressured at over 30% rate in these last 3 games. And they've lost 2 of those. So, I mean, that's kind of the biggest thing right there. And this just is the most important factor on the Rams defense. And that falls with guys like Byron Young and Kobe Turner hopefully playing and get some pressure up the middle, and Jared Verse. So I think one way to get him uncomfortable is getting a lead. And the Seahawks, they have not been down in a game since trailing 6-0 to the Jaguars, and that was 4 weeks ago. The Seahawks offensive line, they played well. Darnold, if you can get a lead on them, Darnold's not a quarterback that's really built for these big comebacks. And if the Rams can find a way to get an early lead, get to the quarterback, that's going to be huge. That really is going to be massive in this one. Because we know that the Seahawks offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak, he's from the Shanahan coaching system. And one of the reasons why the Rams were so successful against Sam Darnold when he was on the Vikings was because they got pressure. The Rams sacked him 9 times last year in their playoff win. And in the Week 8 matchup, Darnold was sacked 3 times, and most of that pressure came from the interior. So that is going to be the biggest key in that one. And will they adjust to that? Another thing is, we just talked about it, all the eye candy, all the pre-snap looks with the tight end packages. That's going to be huge because the Seahawks have allowed the 6th most yards to tight ends this season and the 2nd most receptions. You look at last week, Trey McBride, 9 catches, 127 yards, a touchdown. A lot of big tight ends on this list too. Week 1, George Kittle, 4 receptions, 25 yards, a touchdown. Jawan Johnson, week 3, 6 for 51 yards. Trey McBride has had some big days against him. Zach Ertz, Dalton Schultz. So a lot of those yards for McBride were after the game was decided, but I think when you look at how they can take advantage of Emmet Sheehan as a rookie, it's by trying to confuse him. And if you got Terrence Ferguson, a guy that you can put in passing situations and he can be a weapon down the field, that is going to do wonders to how unpredictable your offense is going to be. So the Seahawks defense, they're fast and they like to use a lot of motion. So, I mean, that's kind of the biggest thing is you want to use motion. You want to make them to where you want to keep them on their heels and slow them down. And then that really puts you in a really big spot for sure. And another thing too is you just need to, if you can limit the explosive plays, I think you're going to win this game if you're the Rams. The Seahawks, they're a team that Sam Darnold's average depth of target this year is 14.4. That's number 1 in the NFL. Matthew Stafford's second at 10.1, but that's a pretty big gap. Darnold is going to play his game. He's going to play his game. Hit in breakers. He wants to go underneath, and that's to set up the big plays down the field. Set up those play actions and push the ball down the field. The Seahawks have the highest explosive play rate in the NFL this year at 22%. And the Rams defense, we know, by playing zone, by not blitzing much, their defense is designed to try to limit explosive plays as much as possible. And on the season, they're 6th in explosive pass rate allowed. So the Seahawks, they are an explosive offense. The Rams, as a defense, are good at limiting explosive plays. So this is a game that you just don't want to allow that script to be flipped against you. So the quarterbacks, they're going to be challenged. They're absolutely going to be challenged on the outside. They got to make plays on the ball. They got to not take the bait. So that, and they have to just really lean on their strengths. And that is going to be a defensive line that's going to hopefully make sure that they're having their best game of the year. And I think that is something that's what it's going to take if you want to win this one comfortably. So the biggest subplot, though, we'll kind of go back to it, is how will the Seahawks match up with the Rams in their heavy tight end packages? The Seahawks, 12 and 13 personnel, they matched it with their base defense at the lowest rate in the NFL. So when they're facing multiple tight ends, the Seahawks defense, they've matched with 5 or more defensive backs 75.3% of the time. And the reason why is because you got the aforementioned Nick Emmanwori and DeMarcus Lawrence and Leonard Williams and Jaron Reed. They're good at stopping the run. So that's going to be the biggest key is when the Rams are in 12 and 13 personnel and they're going up against nickel defenses, are they going to have success? Because that success rate on the season is around 52%. So I still like the Rams in this one. I look at this game as a whole. I think another key factor, too, another big key in this one is stopping the run, of course, but establishing a run game as well. I think when you look at where this Rams team is, it's Kyron Williams' backfield, but Blake Corum is someone that I think absolutely needs to be a factor in this one, running on the outside. But, hey, the Rams, I think, are in a good position. Matthew Stafford, 5-0 against the Seahawks since putting on the horns. Last couple of years, the Rams are 5-0 in NFC West games in October or after October. Sean McVay, outside of the 2022 year, they're 17-1 after the month of November against NFC West opponents that don't include the San Francisco 49ers. Last year, the Rams, we know that they really kind of put themselves in a great spot to win the NFC West with the success they had against the Seahawks. So it's going to be a fascinating game. It really is. It's going to be a fascinating game. I think the Rams ultimately win because you've got more experience on your side. Matthew Stafford's playing at an MVP level. I still think we're weeks away from the NFL to try to keep up and adjust to the 13 personnel looks. So I got the Rams in this one. Final score prediction, 31-20. I think the Rams hang another 30-piece. I think that's where they're at. And I think that the Rams are going to feel really good about this one because you really put yourself in a position to be the front runner to win the NFC West, and you really elevate your chances of finishing with those 1 and 2 seeds in the NFC, which gives you the bye. But welcome to the LA Sports Report. Let's see what we got right here. We got BC. Stafford is their daddy. Muad'Dib says 27-10 Rams. Muad'Dib says RIP Kenny Easley. Yeah, Kenny Easley, Bruin legend. And, yeah, absolutely. We got SC with the dub from Wrestling is BS. Great win for the Trojans. Lucy Park, Dodgers win. Dodgers and Cowboys for life, all right. D-Mac going to have a pregame seance. Yeah, the UCLA about to get absolutely smacked. UCLA lost to Arizona last night, by the way. Not ready to talk about it. Absolutely disgusted. Donovan Dent, the big point guard they got, the New Mexico transfer that UCLA gave $3 million to. He looked like he was Dylan Andrews yesterday. I mean, we'll talk some UCLA next week. But next, I want to talk some Lakers. This will be a quick show here. We'll get through it. Let's talk some Lakers. And this is interesting. So the Lakers, we know, the Lake Show tonight, you got the Bucks in tipping off in a little less than 40 minutes here. But we're still looking at the trade, right? The Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis trade, Nico Harrison out. And there was a story that came out that the Lakers were already unhappy with Anthony Davis before the Luka Doncic trade. This is from a reporter named Brett Siegel, who wrote about with the Davis injuries and kind of how they thought that they've kind of reached their peak with him, even though they had won a championship with him. It said he only played in 36 games a season after winning a championship due to calf and Achilles strains. And then Davis only played in 40 games during the 2021 and 2022 season because of a left MCL sprain and a right ankle sprain. The very next season, Davis missed 26 games with a right football injury. Throughout these 3 years in which Davis was constantly in and out of the lineup as a result of many injuries, internal concerns about the way Davis took care of his body began to loom large, multiple league sources said. There were points before the 2024 and 2025 season when Davis's side and his representation would not see eye to eye with how the Lakers wanted to handle his injury, recovery, and prevention. In the offseason, Davis wouldn't always communicate with the Lakers, and his fitness levels entering training camps were said to be well below average. Go on to say there were moments in the preseason where we wondered if we had there were moments in the preseason where we wondered if he had even worked out at all in the summer. One team source who was granted anonymity to speak freely said of Davis entering the 2024 and 2025 season, he would come back, go through warm-ups, and either sit out to be with the training staff or basically half-ass what the team was doing. When he first got here, that wasn't the case. He was always willing to go above and beyond, and he was one of the first in the gym, last out of it. Over the years, that changed, and he almost became content in a way. It was clear he was out of shape and didn't seem to care what the higher-ups were telling him. Something definitely changed. Wow. Interesting stuff. Now, to me, it feels like Anthony Davis had some Shaquille O'Neal in him. And what I mean by that is, we know Shaq, if you're going to draft like the top 10 NBA players of all time, is there anyone that wouldn't draft Shaq with that group? Right? Like Shaq was absolutely elite, physical freak. He's the MDE, the most dominant ever. But he did not maximize what he had, right? He was an 18-wheeler and he stayed an 18-wheeler, right? And that was great, but he never took it to another level, right? I mean, he never just he was always awesome, right? He was always awesome. But we know that he didn't maximize like Kobe Bryant did. Kobe got 100% of what he could be. Shaq probably got 80%. And Shaq will probably be the first guy to tell you that. I think Anthony Davis, after winning that title in 2020, probably said, hey, I'm Anthony Davis, and I know I'm elite. We know when he's healthy, he's a top 5 to 10 player. But there was always kind of questions. Is he the number one on a championship winning team? Did he carry himself that way? Did he lead by example that way? I think this is more proof that that wasn't the case. It'll go on to say that their final straw for the franchise was Davis and his camp held a meeting with the Lakers before the 2024 offseason was in full swing, sources said, to stress the importance of him having more help, specifically at the center position. It was clear that Davis's demands were to play fewer minutes at center and for the team to leverage assets in order to bring in another experienced center who could directly impact their championship pursuit. From the point of view of Davis's camp, the idea of making such a move was to preserve his overall body health, as wear and tear had resulted in several of his soft tissue injuries through the years. This wasn't seen as a necessity from the Lakers' point of view, as their focus was on preserving future assets and maintaining cap flexibility for 2025 with LeBron owning a player option. Los Angeles did not completely shut the door on pursuing more front court help, as they attempted to do so multiple times before the 2025 trade deadline, but this was not viewed as a core need of the franchise. Instead, more focus was on Austin Reeves emerging as the third key talent alongside James and Davis. This decision to continue to have Davis play heavy minutes with virtually no front court help, and that did not sit well with his camp, creating more friction and tension leading into the 2024-2025 season. As the conversations between Nico Harrison and Rob Pelinka continued to progress and the dream of acquiring Doncic started to look like a real possibility for the Lakers, Pelinka, Buss, and other key members of the Los Angeles front office began devising the logistics of the trade. This is like too good, right? While this was happening in mid-January, Davis continued to make it known that the team needed another center, a narrative that had worn thin on the front office. If the Lakers needed any other reason to want to move Davis other than acquiring Doncic, they got it when his frustration led the 10-time All-Star to make it clear to management that they needed to be willing to do what it takes to not only keep him healthy, but also put him in the best position to win a title. And it said, finally, multiple higher-ups in the Lakers organization took exception to Davis's words, which basically claimed they did not put the team in a position to succeed like they did during the team's championship run in 2020. With conversations Pelinka held with Harrison already advancing and this relationship with Davis reaching a point of no return, the Lakers pulled the trigger on the historic trade. What Davis said in this interview was essentially the last straw, as one team source said that put the nail in the coffin for his time in Los Angeles. So we also saw a report from Sam Amick, who talked about how frustrated they were. And look, Davis did his job, right? He helped the Dodgers. I mean, he helped the Lakers win a championship. His jersey's going to be retired one day. I don't think he'll get a statue. But look, there's a reason why he was Anthony Davis, right? He's the reason why when his jersey gets retired, are you going to hang his number up there? Are you going to hang some street clothes up there? And yes, he actually had been really durable in the last couple of years of his time in Los Angeles. But look, I loved Anthony Davis, and I like the fact that he got the Lakers a title here. They wouldn't have won one without him. But it's a beautiful thing. It actually is. Like, the Lakers, the basketball gods, I know for a fact that God's a Laker fan because you got Anthony Davis's best years. You got a championship out of him. And have you looked at him now? My man looks like he's been eating Dallas, Texas barbecue for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a second dinner, and maybe a third dinner, maybe a fourth. Because clearly he's not taking care of himself. Clearly he's not on this quest to be the best player he can. He's got some Shaq-itis. And if you're the Lakers, yeah, maybe you cooled off of AD, but you did it because it was the right decision. You got Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is a better, younger, more marketable player, a guy that plays a position that's more entertaining to watch. It doesn't mean that AD was bad. Doesn't mean that AD was Kwame Brown. I mean, to me, this is like Leonardo DiCaprio. What does Leonardo DiCaprio do? He dates supermodels that are like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then when they gets to 25, he dumps them, right? It doesn't mean that they're not hot, right? They're still 25, right? But he wants to get a new one, right? And that's kind of what the Lakers did, right? They got another supermodel, and this one is a little younger, a little more in their prime. So I think it was a great move, and the Lakers lucked out, and they got Luka Doncic. Okay, so before we head out of here, Kike Hernandez ended up getting surgery. The Dodgers hero was spotted at the airport with a little elbow wrapping harness after having some surgery. He dealt with this injury throughout the season, had to get 4 injections just to be able to play this year. And as you can see, someone kind of caught up with him at the airport. Let's see if we can get this footage of Kike Hernandez here. Check out Kike at the airport.
Kike Hernandez, the Dodgers. Kike Hernandez. Hey, what's up, Kike? How you doing, man? Hey, I just want to say you're one of the funniest and most personable people. Really enjoyed it. Would you ever get into comedy and do any acting?
I don't know yet.
If it was offered?
I don't know.
Do you have?
I'm under the influence right now.
How are you feeling? Are you feeling all right?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, best of recovering to you. He's under the influences.
So he is hopefully going to be ready to go by the time the season starts. The big question for the Dodgers is, will you go on to sign him? We've seen Andrew Friedman, the Dodgers president of baseball operations, the last couple of seasons say there's always a spot for Kike Hernandez. Will another team out there give him a bigger deal possibly to try to keep him away from the Dodgers? Because he's signed 4 one-year deals since coming back here. Here's Kike Hernandez, by the way, at the hospital. A couple pictures here. He posted his elbow. There's another shot of it right there. There we go. There we go. He put the caption. This is going to be in Spanish, but it's Mi gente de Puerto Rico. So, yeah. Best wishes to Kike Hernandez. For me, I still think the Dodgers should re-sign him. I know that some people do not want to see that. As Miguel Rojas told me, this group deserves an opportunity to try to run it back. And if you could sign him to a one-year deal, $7.5, $8 million, I don't see how you could not. He doesn't need to play the full season. You could still kick the can down the road, have him injured if he's injured, and you can develop some young guys. Alex Freeland comes to mind. We'll see if Ryan Ward gets an opportunity. But where are you guys at? Are you guys on the Kike fence? I certainly am. I really am. We've got Darnold has his best season ever. God is a Laker fan. I mean, how could he not? I mean, to give Luka Doncic, okay, 80 is okay, but not a heavyweight. We've got Luka looks like an average Joe, but plays like a young super athlete. Hey, everybody. Hey, D-Mac. Yeah, what's up, guys? Guys going to watch UCLA get pounded by – give me your UCLA-Ohio State score. Nico Iamaleava is not going to be playing the Bruins starting quarterback. Ohio State was already, I believe, a 31-point favorite, but it is not going to be pretty. But, yep, Kike Hernandez undergoing that elbow surgery. $6.5 million deal to come back to L.A. last season. Did not have a great year. I mean, he hit 203. The elbow surgery, I think, contributed to that. After that, he hit just 169 and had a 29.5% strikeout rate in 129 regular season plate appearances after May when he suffered that. It was a game against the Guardians. He was trying to play through it. Postseason, he started every single game, 24 strikeouts in 17 games, hit 250, had a home run in Game 5 of the World Series. His best play, though, was the game-ending double play in Game 6, where he basically no-look Barger. Barger tries to get back to the bag. He also pitched 5 1/3 innings on the mound, too. So I want to see the pitching helmet back. Let Kike catch. Let him catch one of these times. But Max Muncy's picked up his club option. He's going to be back. Miguel Rojas is still a free agent. Kike is still a free agent. Feels like, I mean, with the remarkable postseason they had, that you have to try to evolve, to improve, and even champions have to make these tough decisions. But still has a defensive versatility, still can hit. But this is going to be something where, I don't know about you guys, it feels like the more days that pass for the World Series, the more clarity that this organization is going to have as far as just making decisions for roster construction. So I'm still trying to gather information, see what my gut tells me. But we got Kings 1-0. All right, shout out to my Kings. Go, Kings, go. Go, Kings, go. We've got, let's see, the Kings. That's where the Kings are up. So USC wins today. We've got the Kings up 1-0 on the Senators. You guys like the USC fight song bit? UCLA Ohio State just kicked off. The Bucks Lakers tipping off less than 30. Lakers 9-4, trying to get their 10th win of the season. But that is going to do it. Quick episode today, Saturday episode. We'll be back tomorrow. Talk some Rams. Chargers. Go Chargers. Remember when Arnold said that? But that's going to do it, guys, for this episode of the LA Sports Report. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. What's up, Sweet Face Lola? What's up, Wadib? What's up, Foreign Orange? What's up, you guys? Rock with me. Just got to 3,000 subs. The subs are going way up, 3,000 in less than a month. So we're at going to do some more giveaways. Lots of fun stuff over here. Lakers, Dodgers, Rams, Chargers, UCLA, USC, Kings, LAFC, guys. This is going to be your home for all LA sports. So that's going to do it. See you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and this rainy day. This rainy day in LA. This rainy day in LA. And I saw this funny meme here. Check out this meme here. It's you got the vampire to the sunlight. No. You got the Superman to the kryptonite. No. And then you got LA drivers to rain. Yeah, it's a big deal when it's rain. Everyone's looking like Paddington Bear out here in these streets. But, yep, guys, do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification button. Hit the like button for the City of Champions, Los Angeles. Remember that there are lots of great cities out there, but L.A. is the City of Champions. LA is the sports capital of the world. The Lakers have entered their Luka Doncic era. LeBron doesn't just want a farewell tour, he wants a farewell title. The Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. Go, Kings, go! The Dodgers are the best-run franchise in all of professional sports. Shohei Ohtani is the GOAT. Steve Ballmer will do anything to get the Clippers a championship. Mick Cronin has to win a national championship at UCLA. Justin Herbert is a top 5 quarterback in this league. College football is just better when